So hey guys, this is gonna be my review for The Flash Season 7 Episode 2, so let's get started. So in my opinion, this episode was a pretty massive improvement over Episode 1. Like, so the episode starts off with, Barry saying all this stuff about, how the team always needs a well and how the wells help them and, stuff like that. Like this memorial, and it showed a few clips of HR, Sherlock, Nash, Harry, and that's really all. Then then they Cisco puts Nash's his bag thing on some type of mannequin, and then we see excessive suit, like Nora's suit. We see Ronnie's suit. We see a lot of people who are dead per se suits. We also see Jesse Quick suit, which I was it was confusing because Jesse said she was the Flash of Earth 2 after season 2 or season 3 or 4. Like she said she was the season 3 to HR. She said that, so it doesn't fully make sense how I'm pretty sure she would need her suit on Earth 2, so it doesn't fully make sense how she had the suit, they had the suit because Earth 2 is destroyed. Maybe some crisis change or something, but something like that. Then Joe says a line, I don't remember the line, but he says some I don't remember the line, but then Cisco goes to they're both in the Cortex and Star Labs, and then Cisco's well, he got the tech from Atlantis, the on the land Atlantis, which is kind of funny, but it's from Earth too. So he got the tech from Atlantis. He put it he thought it would work. According to his calculations, it would have worked, but for some reason it didn't. Then Chester went to his grandma's house because I think that's what Aaron wanted to do, to replace Chester and Cisco, because they're practically the same person in a way. I'm pretty sure Cisco's gonna leave the season some way this season because Carlos Valdez, I loved him in the first few seasons, but as soon as season 5 starts, he just wasn't that funny anymore and stuff like that. He was funny at moments, but he just wasn't that good anymore. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna kill him off, or he's just gonna leave the show or something this season. And then Chester he went to his grandma's, and then he gave two ideas um of how what's now working about the Mirrorverse portal thing. And then before Cisco wrote the first one, Barry was able to say it, and Cisco was like, "You freaky." And then before he said the second one, he was able to say that too. And then he was like, "You freak." Like he didn't say the why, but he was confused on how that happened. Like he was like, "Yeah, weird." And then Allegra got the message from Iris, and then she got the message from Iris. She showed it to Team Flash, or Barry and Cisco, and then they were like, okay, a message, and then they were like, okay, they're gonna meet at the speed lab. Then Cisco says Cisco says Barry had these powers, and that he's able to outsmart people like the Thinker. He's practically a duplicate of the Thinker, if you want to think about it, with his speed thinking. It's like he's able to balance out speed thinking and normal thinking. He's not super duper duper smart. He knows he can solve the hardest equation in the world. He can calculate everything. Calculate the scenarios. He can make stuff because he knows the materials. I'm pretty sure he can't solve the hardest math problem in the world. Speed thinking just speeds up his thinking to be more scenarioistic. It doesn't really speed up his smartness, which is something wholly completely different, and smartness doesn't really come from that, so yeah. And then he has speed thinking. Barry says he knows how to open a portal to the Mirrorverse. He needs particles from Eva because she had particles. They don't need Ramsey's blood, which is kind of funny, but whatever. And then um at first, I thought speed thinking was gonna be terrible. I pretty much when season 6 was airing, I kind of lost my faith in Eric Wallace, and I thought it was just gonna be this thing, the thing that season 4 messed up on Flash Time. Flash Time, it was so overpowered, and stuff like that. And I don't know why he didn't use it in season 5. That's just stupid, as much as I like the episode ended last time. And then, uh, but it wasn't really OP, or it wasn't like overpowered, or it wasn't like anything like that. It was just normal. It gave Barry. It was just at that spoilers at the end of the episode. It was like gone. But the thing is, then he says yes. No, he took the particles from Eva without even noticing. Then he called Killer Frost in. Killer Frost got shot by Eva, but Barry didn't do anything about it because, well, he calculated that there was a 0.26% chance that the particles, 0.26% chance that the particles would survive such a low chance. And so then he was like, I can just make a cure in Star Labs, and he made a cure for Killer Frost. Then Cisco notices something wrong with Barry because he's just so different, it feels like. And I was like, yeah. And the one problem with this episode is that during a few scenes, Grant Gustin's acting wasn't the best. Like, a few scenes, like the beginning of the speed thinking, his acting was weirdish, but at the end it was good. Don't get me wrong, but a few things it was weirdish. Then Barry builds the artificial speed force, and then they get to the scene where Barry tells Team Flash that they, because Iris has been in the Mirrorverse longer, the particles of the dark matter particles they have only enough to stabilize one person. Oh, actually, before that, Barry exposes that Eva is a mirror clone, not just normal Eva, and that distracts her so they can build this artificial speed force without even knowing. Stuff like that. And then, all that stuff happens, and then, well, he explains that they can only save Iris because they only have enough particles to save Iris because she's been in the Mirrorverse long enough, or Camilla and Sing because they both of their particles combined are equivalent to Iris's, and they're like they all vote for everyone votes for Camilla and Singh, and Barry's the only one who votes for Iris. And I was like, okay, this is not good. But then it was just a simulation in Barry's mind, which I was like, Barry's a robot confirmed. It was really good, like funny-ish. Then um um Barry doesn't tell the team he was about to go through the artificial speed force, but Cisco knows what's going to happen. Like, he calculate, like, he's not like this mobster or anything, but he used his calculations and his smartness to calculate what it was. Also, at the beginning of the episode, when Barry was using his speed thinking, I think Cisco was kind of jealous because usually Cisco's the smart man, and Barry is smart, like really smart, but he's not really as smart as Cisco. But in this episode, he mostly is. So then that happens, and then he calls Camilla and Singh, like he calls them something that gets on Cisco's nerves, and Cisco is like probably already prepared because Allegra wears Nash's like bag thing and comes, and Killer Frost comes, and then this fight, I love this fight. I think this is mainly where the episode starts to kick off. Like, this episode full of surprises. That's really what makes it a fantastic episode, to be honest. It's like, so then Barry was about to get the quantum spear, but then Cisco took his gun, was shooting the artificial speed force, and then Barry goes in front, like takes the blast, and Cisco's like, it temporarily drains your speed, and then Barry does something, I don't fully remember, but he does something and somehow his speed is back. Maybe, oh yeah, he took the gun from Cisco and threw it on the floor, and then and punched it hit Allegra, and then Frost put Velocity X on, which gave her temporary speed power, and that fight was so epic, like legit. I was mind blown from how good that CGI was. Supergirl CGI is horrible, to be honest. This CGI, fantastic. That's the one thing I can say. Fantastic CGI. It was so fudging good. This really gave me hope for the Flash because this scene was amazing. And then Barry, in short-term conclusion, Barry wins. And then, but Allegra uses smoke bomb, comes, Frost uses a smoke bomb, and Velocity X wore off, but then they use smoke bomb, and then they trap him in Star Labs, but then Barry, the quantum sphere or something, bounces on their heads, and then they're all like unconscious. Then Barry tries to get Iris. He didn't calculate that Iris would try to resist back. And when he came in, Iris fell on the floor. And I think Barry's mind started to go down a little bit because, well, he loves Iris. So maybe his other side took over a little bit. And he was like, oh, why did I do this? And then he threw lightning at the artificial speed force. It got wrought out, but he had to pay for that because, well, I don't think the artificial speed force likes it. And then he had this whole lightning break. And then stuff like that. But I say the thing that puts this episode in my top five Flash episodes. Okay, maybe like top seven. But the thing that puts it is that ending cliffhanger. It's practically what made season 1, episode 17 so good. Like the Reverse Flash taking Harrison Wells' body away. But I say the thing that this cliffhanger does better is showing us the burial, but also showing us the original Harrison Wells survived by some green butterflies or lights, which makes no sense. They better explain it, or else I'll punch the show in the face somehow. Because it makes no sense. This thing is full of surprises. It's a 9.8 out of 10. Okay, I'll give it a 9.9. The one thing that holds it back is that Grant Gustin's acting, and that one thing was, it was good. It felt laggy, like, not as good as his acting usually is. Maybe it's because it was his first try. Maybe because of that. So that's my thoughts on the episode. Give me your rating and your thoughts down below in the comment section. Subscribe and like the video, and bye.